Recording.
Hello everyone, welcome to the one shot of the night. It's your boy GM Demi with the A team. We got Aki, got two recruits, Vaughn and Lucy. We're going to be playing a nice old game called Do Not Let Us Die in the Night of This Cold Winter. Very long name, you know. We're going to be using Nave for any combat or other things that occur, which is, I believe, made by Questing Beast. Shout out to Questing Beast on YouTube. So let's kick this bad boy off. We'll do some character introductions left to right. Start with Vaughn. Who are you? Why are you here?
I am Dr. Vondan. I am a native of this town. My family has been in the medicine and herbalism business, running the smoke tent, etc., for generations. And I am here to attempt to survive another brutal winter with as many folks as I can keep alive.
Okay. Aki, you're up next.
Nice. Yeah. So I'll be playing Merrick, a rough and tumble hunter that sort of just wandered into town years back and everyone's been stuck with him since. He's not exactly the best company, a selfish and impudent man, but nonetheless, the village rely on him as one of its few hunters.
Finally, we got Lucy.
My name is Malcolm Gladewell. I know how to find things, how to get things from one place to another without the local authorities taking too much interest. I've been in Valen about 8 months now. Come to like the people, the kind, decent folk, surprisingly welcome to strangers. But truth be told, I know my time is limited. You see, when I was a boy, a witch, my mother said. She cursed me. And that curse has followed me around my entire life. An inopportune fire, spoke of a wheel breaking when it shouldn't. Doesn't matter how it happens, it always catches up with me. And I know I've been here too long, and as the winter sets in, worried that curse is going to catch up with me again. Hopefully it doesn't catch anyone else with it, but these people have come to respect me and they've come to rely on me. So I'm going to do everything I can to help them get through these harsh times before I'm forced to move on again.
Great, and that will be the cast for tonight. So we'll set the scene, alright? The village, known for their agriculture, they get by. They're very far removed from the cities and the ports and whatnot. They trade fairly sparsely. They gather up all their supplies and they ship things off and they get their gold. Honestly, everyone in this place is trying to get by. As the years have been going by, the winters have been getting longer and harsher and longer and harsher. And then one evening, there was a strange robed man who entered the village and caused a commotion. People opened up their windows, came out of their houses to see what's going on. And he foretold of the upcoming winter and how it would last 12 months. And it would be grueling and devastating. And he warned the people that in order to survive, they would need to gather supplies and their wits and come together and face the tribulations and the biting frost and just terrible things are to come. For most part, people shake it off. It's just some crazy old man. But as winter approached and snow began to fall, people could tell this is no ordinary winter. Much heavier, much sooner. So the town rallied together. They gathered their supplies and decided to keep it in the storeroom. People were dying left and right. Survivors emerged. And whatever occurred during this gathering, the three of you, for whatever reason, were elected leaders. Whether it be for your charm, your expertise, your skill, just your reputation in general. So it's up to you three to gather supplies and ration it amongst the people. We'll take it to the playmat. So, it's daybreak. You can see snow beginning to fall. The people have been dealt out their rations for the day, but it seems the supply room has run low, if empty. We'll just say for now that the three of you, as leaders, have gathered in your own hut to discuss the day's events early in the morning.
This does not look good, friends.
It hasn't
We
for
are
a
running
long
low.
time.
This winter will be worse than most.
You don't really believe that madman, do you? 12 months of winter. It's ridiculous.
We
But then
cannot
again,
survive 12 months. We can only hope he is a fool. But this winter, I look outside, I look at the leaves, I see that it is going to be a bad one.
It is indeed going to be rough, to say the least. Weather's already beginning to take a turn. Rations are low. Everything else is low. We need to hunt and gather as much as we can.
While the weather is good, I agree. We must get out, and we must get out quick.
Regardless, I wouldn't discredit the man so easily. You learn quick to pay attention to people like that in the woods. Bad men often have a point.
well, I pray that this one is simply mad and lacking in points. But you'll hear no argument from me. We already have lost too many people. We need more food, more fuel. We need medicine.
Well, regardless, we'll get it, or we won't, and we'll starve to death and we'll die freezing. It's that simple.
Well, let us not talk of that. We must do what we can. We will save who we can, as we always have.
Well, if it comes down to it, be ready to prioritize.
But let us hope it does not.
It most definitely will. You can think well of it. Think everything will be fine as long as you can, but eventually things will go wrong. You'd best be ready for it.
Well, what are the state of the supplies at the moment? Anything left in the storeroom?
Dismal. If there is anything, there's nothing worth mentioning.
We have some, just not very much. We need medicine and food. And obviously, as the temperature drops, we must have wood.
Yes, we'll have to gather as much as we can. But, of course, food's a priority. If we have to, we'll huddle up in a damned pile to keep warm. Well, regardless, there are always buildings. If worse comes to worse.
Well, let us hope it does not. There are ample trees. We simply need the energy to cut them down. So I believe you are correct in saying that food is our first priority. No
Yes.
one is sick at the moment, so we can only hope that holds out.
Yes, once it gets properly cold, I imagine that will change.
It always does.
Well, best get to gathering then, I suppose. The bow isn't going to shoot itself.
I agree.
And Merrick kind of gets up, stretches, and pulls from near the door his long bow. A massive, gnarled thing, clearly made by hand. And the quiver sitting on the ground next to it, loaded with arrows. Well, a hunting I go. And with that, he heads out the door, the draft rather abominable, as he pulls up his hood and begins to walk out.
The two of you.
Dr. Van Daan will gather his supplies. He has he wears a heavy bearskin like cloak slash coat, where he has a sack in it, and he carries a small trowel along with a very small shovel for this time of year and a small serrated blade, so he can cut limbs, and given the hard ground, he can dig a little bit for what he actually needs. He's got a pair of thick, like fur-lined boots. It takes a while to find out. You trudge around and dig in the cold for quite a while. So he's got some gloves, fingerless gloves that he wears to help him pick and stay warm. Generally, it'd probably be a whole day for just a handful of herbs, especially this time of year. And he will gather his stuff and start heading out into the forest in a direction that he hasn't recently been scavenging in hopes of getting lucky.
Malcolm will gather his things too. Compared to the others, his winter clothing looks much more dingy. It's predominantly fur, but it looks to be well worn with various patches sewn together with less desirable materials, and a lot of color gone from it. But there are several layers of it he wears, suggesting that what it lacks in fashion, it makes up for in practicality. He carries a small sword at his side, and has a pack with various supplies, but beyond that, doesn't look particularly well equipped for winter. Still, following the lead of the other two village elders at this point, he sets out to try and gather supplies.
Is there nothing else you guys want to do? You're just going to sit out?
Well, before doing so, Malcolm will probably check in with all the villagers to see if there's anything happening, anything going on.
At least for now, things appear to be normal. People aren't aware of the supply room. You guys are in charge of doing that. No one's sick. Everything seems to be going smoothly.
How do spirits seem so far?
People seem to generally be as they always have. No one has died. The winter is here earlier than normal, but nothing too bad. The snowfall is minor. It's coming down maybe 2 to 3 inches right now. Spirits are just your general village spirit. No one's too happy, but no one's pissed.
Okay, if that's the case, then Malcolm will set off to help gather.
If no one's sick at the moment, and we're probably hurting for food more than anything else, I'll make sure that I have snares and other food gathering tricks that I can use. That might be a more beneficial use for the time to begin with, maybe, if we stock up on food, given the fact that the medicine isn't as badly needed immediately. So I'll leave that as an option before I leave or head out.
Alright, so the three of you make your way into the forest to gather. Then I should deal a card. Okay, Aki, you should have a card.
Yep. Alrighty. A biting wind cuts through the village with such voracity that even the building hearths have trouble staying aflame. Each house requires one extra turn of fuel to heat this turn. Extra unit, sorry.
And the three of you go into the woods in search of supplies. Aki, you're in charge. Give me that gather supply roll.
Alrighty.
You said you were focusing on your,
Yeah, he went out for food primarily at the moment. Oop. Ooh. Of course it's not as high as the test roll. They never are. There we go. 5. And then you said additional for my
yeah. You
thief
get to roll
specialty.
additional since you're going first.
Alrighty. There we are. I have to get 7 units of food.
And the two of you get to roll your gratuity units.
It's and
Alright, you guys can describe how you gather what you gather. So I mark off some stuff.
oh well, as I go out into the woods, like I said, I was heading toward a location I haven't. It's fairly straightforward. Before the ground gets too hard, I'm looking for roots and other things that are relatively easy to dig up, that have a good medicinal value. Before I have to start looking at tree bark and other things that are above ground level as it gets colder and more snowy, which is what I have the trowel for, and the small shovel. And it probably takes a good portion of of my time in order to gather any reasonable amount of supplies with this method, given it's not a growing season.
Yeah, and Malcolm is predominantly, helping Merrick, keeping an eye out for tracks, trying to herd any like rabbits or any food he might into Merrick's line of sight, but at the same time is keeping an open eye for any like fallen wood or pine cones to gather together to provide fuel.
Okay. So you guys manage to find a couple deer in the woods as you stalk your prey, Merrick. It doesn't seem to have noticed you. It's attempting to drink from a almost freezing river.
Yeah. Alright. Stalks up quietly, keeping a fairly good distance yet. Waiting for that moment. Finally, the thing raises its head, looks off the wrong way, as a thunk echoes out from the area around. Finally, the arrow finds its home in the deer's heart. Down it is. Warm, searing against the snow. Steam filling the area, nigh warming Merrick in the cold winds, though that is swiftly whisked away.
Dr. Von Don, as he starts to, we prepare to take the deers back, will hold on. I need this. I need part of the testicles and some of the hooves, and I need some of the horns. This is good medicine. This can help us a lot. And I'll take the important parts from a medicinal perspective of this kill.
I suppose that'll do. I try not to take too much. It still makes good stock.
I very much doubt a pair of deer testicles are going to make or break your evening meal. But they may
You
survive.
never know. Prepared the correct way, they might be tasty. Or frankly, it prepared anyway is how a man hungry enough would eat.
Well, anyway.
Meat's meat. Regardless, we need to get back. Winds are worse than I thought.
Yes, it is going to be very, very cold very, very soon.
Yes. Merrick goes about knife work on the deer, setting it to drain as he then hikes it up over his own back, seeming quite happy with the warmth from it as the blood drains down below as they begin to walk, leaving a rather crimson trail amongst the pristine white snow.
As the three of you return what you've gathered to the village, the temperature dips and the winds blow wildly. Very painful to your bare skin that's attacked by the elements. And as you finally make your way to the village, you can see some people have gathered around towards the entrance. They seem to have had a party waiting for you to return. So now who's in front?
Merrick's probably pulling a bit behind, seeing as he's carrying the deer.
I'm probably weak. I would be in front. I wouldn't be helping too much. I'd be looking at my stuff.
Yeah. Malcolm would be helping carry it, like shouldering a lot of the.
As we approach the village, see the villagers. We have returned.
And the first one to greet you is a very portly man in some fine clothing with a cane. Thomas Smith, money of the town, finances, used to be acting governor.
It took you long enough. You feel that?
And he sort of motions out towards the window.
Yes, it is going to get cold. If you sniff, you can tell it is a dry wind. That means the cold is coming. There will be nothing to hold in the heat.
Yeah, well, things are sort of look like what that man, that old man had warned us about. I'm glad you three are in charge, but do you think we'll be able to last? I think we should take an account of all of our supplies. Would you be so kind as to let me into the storeroom?
Yes,
We
I
have
can
more
show you what
important
we
things.
have.
Friend, I think taking an account is a good idea, but best to leave that to us. We'll take stock and let you.
Well, I suppose tomorrow we should hold a town meeting, right? Let everyone know what we got, what we're facing. Keep everyone informed. Don't want anyone getting jumpy, right? It's so cold out here.
So, why don't you go inside and stay warm? We will be bringing the killers in soon. We will have to have them drained and butchered, and then we will start smoking them. That is more important than anything else right now. We must make sure this meat lasts as long as possible.
Right. Okay. I trust the people in your capable hands for now. I'm gonna go back inside.
We must be careful if they begin to become nervous. He might need to be handled a bit carefully.
I suppose. If he wants to take anything, though, let him try. I'm not
It
exactly
is not that he
concerned.
will take.
It's less him taking things that I'm worried about. It's him seeing that the situation might not be the best and spreading panic among the people.
Well, panic is warranted. Not that I'm that concerned. I'll make it through this winter one way or another.
So what are you guys up to?
Hey, give me just a second. I gotta log. I keep losing part of the Roll20 screen, so I gotta get back in again.
From Merrick, kind of takes the thing off to start, finish up draining it and making sure everything is all well skinned. Kind of gets the hide set aside. He often tends to keep those for himself whenever warranted. Given the fact that he just got us meat for quite a while, is, as far as he's concerned, more than warranted. So suffice to say, there's no hide from this one, but plenty of meat. Yeah.
If we think we can spare enough, it's part of running the smoke tents is that'll have the really more of a smoke house, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So I'll have the herbs, the salts, etc. For preservation. I'll make sure that as much of the meat as we can is rationed out ahead of time. I'll suggest we must be careful with how much we give them. We don't know how easy with this winter it will be to find food later, so let us preserve as much as we can for the winter. We should salt some so that we have meats to hunt with, and then save as much as we can for later.
Good idea. We'll have to be careful with it.
Yes, I don't. I know it would make the people feel better if we had a feast to show that things were good, but I'm not sure that is the wisest thing to
To
do.
say the least.
The people will feel better if they know the supplies will last. On that note, we should take stock and see what all we have in the storeroom, see how things.
Yeah.
Yes, we can give a report. So
Yep. So I guess we kind of get that taken care of and then head to the storeroom to get a good count and everything and get that all set.
Storeroom, you have 7 supplies of food, 1 of fuel, 2 of medicine. Is added to what remains that will get you through this month. So there's enough to go for this month, and that's what you have left over.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we have 7, 1, and 2, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Keep track. Okay, and how much do we need per month? I'm sorry.
Currently, every villager needs 1 unit of food, every house needs 1 unit of fuel, and no one is sick. Your first month is free, it's a give me, right?
Yeah.
But following months, that's what's going to be the cost,
yeah, this is basically
And
what we
we
have
get-
stockpiled.
We
No.
get one like roll, like one active roll thingy per.
Yeah. So your roll, essentially, that's going to be what you've gathered that month. This isn't just like you hunted once and that's what you got, We're only going to do 1 roll. But
Yeah, I'm just gonna point out with 18 people that means we need perfect triple sixes to provide for just 1 month.
For food.
Yeah,
just
we're gonna be rough.
Yeah, and then we need 1 unit of food per house or per person?
1
Or
unit
per
per
person.
person.
No, I'm sorry,
1
1 unit of fuel.
Per
fuel
house.
1 per house after this month.
Okay, so we need 3 units of fuel per month. We need 18 food, and we need some amount of medicine based on illness. So basically, we drastically prioritize food.
At the moment, yeah. You mentioned before that we can take villagers with us. How many villagers can we take with us, and like what effect?
So you would have to interact with the villagers, get a taste of their skills, and learn what they can provide for you. We'll limit it to you plus 2 villagers. But as I said, villagers are not like you. They are very likely to get injured or sick on this trip. They aren't as sturdy.
Okay.
So you may bring a villager with you to help gather medicine, but then he gets injured and needs the medicine himself, pretty much making it counterproductive. When you bring a villager with you, I'll roll a 1d6. Depending on which villager it is, they need to meet a requirement, right? And if they meet that requirement, they'll be able to gather a gratuity unit for you of their type.
Okay. Can we get a, given the fact that I've lived here my whole life, who other than Merrick is known for either hunting or food gathering in the village?
You, personally, I can whisper you some stuff. You've lived here your entire life.
Okay.
Sorry, who am I whispering that to? I don't know your voices just yet.
Oh, this is Vaughn.
Fuck it, I'll just tell you. You probably share with the party anyway.
Yeah, I'm
right?
not gonna worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So your most skilled hunter from the people in your village would probably be Pavel Roanoke, who's currently in Merrick's building. Other hunters who may dabble in it but aren't as skilled in as him, probably... Rufio's a man of many talents. He's definitely good for that. Who else? Silas used to be a hunter, but he's much older now, not as nimble and swift as he used to be. And Morgan's good for a lot of things. Other people, it's a toss-up. They could help, probably, maybe not.
Okay.
Anyone can help, right? But these are the people who stand out the most.
Makes sense.
Merrick, you may want to talk to Pablo. I believe he is in your tent, or your lodging. He has been very good to us for the village as far as gathering food and finding game.
Yes, I suppose. Although it may be wise to keep him safe until necessary, along with the others in case something happens to me while I'm out there. Last thing we want is 2 of us hurt, or something similar.
You would know better than I. I am no hunter. I just simply say that he may have some use if you wish to talk to him. Or I can talk to him if you like. I do not care.
Frankly, friend, we don't have much of a cushion for anything going wrong as is, or even based on our own experiences so far, that we'll be able to provide ourselves without help. We need him now, not at some future danger zone, because frankly, we're already in the danger zone.
Fair enough. I'll have a chat with him. Regardless, we'll have to be careful. It's treacherous out there after all. And if our best hunters are both dead or injured, I don't think things will go well for long.
I agree. I'd simply just say.
Mark kind of head out to have a chat with the fellow. See if he's willing to come along on the next hunt.
Just as a side note, this will have to be for the next turn, since you guys already did your stuff this time, right? But
Yeah.
We'll do that moving forward. If you want to have this conversation, you can have it.
Yeah.
So Merrick, it's getting late now. You return after taking supply and chatting with your other elders. You return to your building. The 2 brothers are happily having a conversation in the corner by the fireplace. Should have organized this by names. You see Pavel in the corner, just chipping away at some arrows.
Yeah, he sighs and sets his things aside. Bow and his quiver, as usual, near the door, ready to go. Heads over to Pavel. Evening, Pavel. How goes it?
Merrick. You have a good hunt, yes?
Good enough for now. Yes. I think things will last fine enough, but I was thinking we need to stock up a bit better, given the cold. Let's say you come along with me next time. See if we can't get some extra.
Yeah, you suspect that we need more food, yes? I can come with, but just try to keep up, yeah?
Yes, I'd wish you the same. Just don't trip in the snow.
You insult me. I know what I'm doing. I've done this for many years.
As if I haven't. We'll see who gets the most.
Ah, yes, you wish to make competition, no? How's about winner get extra ration at the night? Hmm? Not too much, just enough to brag. Huh?
Fair enough. Have yourself a deal.
Haha, comrade, yes, he shakes your hand and smiles at you.
Merrick shakes his back, a rather almost wicked grin on his face. At least I know I'll eat well.
Ah, you're confident now, but that grin turn upside down next time we hunt, friend.
With that, he smiles and gives him a nod and stretches. Well, it's time to sleep. I think best to keep warm. Remember, don't put
Yeah.
too much in the fire.
Okay, no. It is adequate, I think.
Yeah. Adequate's good. Well, I'm off to sleep.
You rest well, yes, and just you wait. I'll show you yet how good I am at the hunt.
Oh, I'm sure you will. And with that, Merrick will head off and get some sleep. His bed, a rather wantonly tossed pile of hides and cushions full of feathers, ever going flying the moment he lays down. He kind of wraps the pile up over himself to some degree and begins to sleep.
And either of you, what are you guys up to?
Vondan will head back to his house, taking the supplies that have been gathered, the parts of the deer, as long as some of the herbs and nuts that he found that are valuable, and he'll head over by the fire, get in a chair with his mortar and pestle, and just start grinding away a little bit, making the powders that he needs to, drying out the deer testicles, as well as grinding down some of the antler and the hoof, and making the little medicine pouches that he needs that usually are mixed with water or something else, and then given to those who start to get sick, as well as some poultices for those who get wounded. And that'll be his evening for the most part, just preparing that before it's time to get some rest.
Malcolm will also return to his cabin, and we'll try and strike up a conversation about better days, about plans for the coming spring and summer, what everyone was looking forward to. But at some point, he's going to turn the conversation to what if anyone in his tent has any particular skills they think might be useful during this winter.
Anyone you want to talk to, or are you just addressing everyone?
Just the 5 of them as a whole.
Well, for winter, Thomas sort of grumbles around. He's like, my daughter is really good with plants. And you can see Amelia off in the corner playing with some marbles. The man Alexander chimes in and is like, yes, of course, I've been teaching her everything I know, but she's still a bit green. I'm your man if you want to get some medicine or some sort. His sister chimes in. He's like, don't you go overestimating yourself. And, Winona sort of has been known to keep to herself, doesn't really respond to your questioning. She reads many books, though.
Hey, very well. It sounds like if people start falling ill, that we'll be prepared. No experience hunting, though. Perhaps, Mr. Smith, you mentioned your daughter is good with herbs, but what about yourself? Ever take a bow for a deer or a spear to a boar?
Well, I've got one of those boar heads strung up in my wall back in my place, but that was many years ago. You know, back when I was your age.
I understand. Well, good to know, just in case. But why don't we get some rest? It's cold as sin out there, and best we huddle up under our covers for the night.
I suppose you're right.
Off in the distance, you can see Amelia begin to cough a bit. Nothing too dangerous, just a little cough.
When I get a moment, I'm gonna go over and be like, "How are you feeling there, Amelia?"
Oh, I'm okay.
You sure? It's perfectly fine if you're not feeling 100% lately.
No, I'm all right. Thanks for asking, though. Why do I not look all right to you?
No, you look like a healthy young lass. Just trying to make sure everyone's safe and sound. Noticed you got a wee bit of a.
Oh, it's nothing. Do you want to play?
And she sort of like gives you a couple marbles.
Sure. How do you play this game?
Oh, okay. So
And there's like this little circle, chalk drawn on the ground. He's like,
so I have these right here,
and
right?
she shows you a bunch of like brightly colored marbles, and
So I scatter them around.
she starts explaining the rules to you, how to play a game of marbles.
As she's explaining and as they play marbles, Malcolm is gonna listen and try and like note her cough, how often she's coughing, just like how healthy or sick she seems generally.
It seems to be the beginning of an illness. This is her first day. She's not actually sick yet, but she's definitely catching something. As the month goes on, I'll just let you know, I already did the roll for it. She
Yeah.
will be getting sick.
Does everyone have 2 or 3 levels of sickness before they die?
Everyone has 3 levels of sickness. On a 3rd, they die, and 2 levels of hunger.
Okay, and the medicine, one medicine will cure 2 levels of sickness.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks. Malcolm will mention that to the other 2 in general, but something to keep an eye on for the moment. No need fretting about it unless she seems to be getting worse.
Amelia is sick. That is not good. She She is a sweet little girl. Quite clever.
Hmm. Yes, it would be bad if someone fell ill this early. Last thing we need is everyone else getting it.
Yeah, we'll just say that. I guess that concludes your first turn, your first round, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to tell the villagers the status, or are you just gonna make it up, or?
Oh wait, Vondan, doctor, did you speak to what's his face, the man Rufio, about potentially joining the next hunt?
Are you talking about Pavel?
Well, yes, I thought we discussed and agreed Pavel would be coming, but I thought we mentioned Rufio potentially as well. We could take one more, and seems like we're in desperate need of food.
Oh, I was going to leave that to Merrick. I believe he wants to make sure that they do not get ill too soon.
Hmm.
Yes, I
But
just I
Merrick,
thought
if you
that
would like to, I would be more than happy to speak to Rufio. I'm quite sure he will help. But I don't want to cause a panic by talking to all our hunters all at once. I think we should see how the next month plays out.
well,
on
we need
food.
all the help we can get right now. So perhaps if you want to make sure we save a good hunter, perhaps one of the other men in the village can help me gather um, fuel. Frankly, it's rather cold right now, and only going to get colder.
Well, if you're looking for a strong man, who's in the village is, I don't know, who's the big guy who always cuts the wood?
You know, the brothers, Gregor and Nikolai, are pretty big. Gregor himself is huge. Morgan's a strong man. He used to be like a lumberjack type. Capable hands. Those are your two biggest guys. Lee's pretty strong.
Hmm.
Well, I think.
Merrick's sitting pretty in the long term. He's got the house full of buff dudes. Take care of all the hard work.
Well, next turn it's gonna be me who goes out, correct?
You guys can set up your
Bob?
turn, or I just started with Aki because he was on the left.
Because I think that
Given the amount of food we need per turn, I think Aki should go again next. Frankly.
does it have to rotate or no?
I'm gonna check that real quick. I thought it had to rotate, but I'm not entirely certain.
Yeah, I was
'Cause
wondering.
if it has to rotate, I think you should go in order to get us enough fuel to last for a while. We've only got one known sick person.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
if I go, I think we should bring two people for food, because the only food we'll be getting is from the villagers, the two villagers, and the
The
gratuity.
Yeah.
That yeah.
But that won't be enough. What I was
Well,
gonna say
the
is,
gratuity is only at max 3 food, and we currently have 7 for next month, and we need 18.
that's my point. So the next person is actually going to have to hunt for food and hope that they get lucky, no matter
Yeah.
what. And then what we need to do
True.
is have them bring. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter if you or I go next, because the next person needs to hunt
Yeah.
for food, and then everyone else needs to hunt for fuel.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to do it, really. Because we're looking at it, we need food. Like, that's a big priority. Next month,
Right.
honestly, we should let everyone go 1 month without, doing, like, heavy rations, right? So that we can build up, and then we'll have a month where we... Because, Demi, is it you get 1 hunger, right? 1 mark of hunger or starvation, right? When you feed them again, does that remove that one?
1 for hunger.
Yeah, so if they get a mark, right? So say next month we don't do heavy rations, for example. They'll have a mark. The month after that, say we then have enough food to feed all of them, we feed them all, remove all the marks, right?
The thing is, though, every month we need 18 like food, and that's just require 3 6s. That's just like a hard, like really really hard to produce. So there's like people are gonna deteriorate over time, and we're probably gonna lose some people. I'm just saying that like
Well, that's assuming that only one. That's assuming
month
that only.
Right
Yeah,
now, every month we only need 3 people. We only need 3 like wood right now, and so we should really, and like theoretically we could get enough of that for with just my gratuity. I do think probably this month it's a good idea to bring 1 extra villager to get wood, and like myself and them do a gratuity to get wood. But if at all possible, I think we should have Aki take the lead and like triple up on food again if we can, and bring 1 extra villager to also gather more food as well.
You know, and I agree with that, assuming that Aki can go. So I'm working on the assumption that he can't. If he can't, then you or I need to go, but gather food. We bring another person to gather food and another person to gather wood, and then we use their whatever role it is and your whatever role it is in order to get, or your gratuity rolls in order to get the wood that we need.
If Demi, say if I led it and did like gathered supplies for food, would I still be able to roll a gratuity for wood? Or is that only like gratuity is only when you're not leading, and additional supplies?
Is only the non-leader, and your gratuity can only be of your specialty.
Yeah, but if I led and did gathered supplies food, could I still do additional supplies wood?
I think, Demi, we're just trying to figure out what the rules are before we start talking to each other in character.
No. So if you're in charge, right, you don't get a gratuity. You only get what you're setting out to get.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
so
if I set out to get food, I can't still roll the additional supplies for wood as a fighter. Okay.
So do we know if we need to rotate or not? I think that's the next.
You do have to rotate. Essentially, you can't have the same person go back to back, but other than that, it's up to you two. You three.
Okay.
So what I suggest is that this month I will gather my snares and I will go try to see what I can trap. And then you can assist me while you look for wood. Perhaps we can ask for Pavel and perhaps Gregor to come with us and help us look for more wood and help us cut the trees while we look for other things to eat.
I think that's a good idea, but I think you should instead of Pavel, I think. Well, no, you're right. I apologize. I was thinking Rufio. Yes, I think Pavel should help you look for food, and Gregor and I can keep an eye out for fuel while we're at it. Maybe fell a tree or find a log that looks like good wood.
Yes, that is what I would suggest, because it looks like it is going to be a lean beginning of the winter unless we manage to get a little bit of luck on our side.
Yes.
I agree, friend. I think you're right. Good head on your shoulders you have there, Doc.
I have been doing this very many years. This is the worst winter in many, many years, but I've been here for quite a while, and since birth. It is always bad. The cold just gets colder.
Yes, well, it'll be a very different kind of cold if the madman was right. And if it is the
But
long,
I am still
long
hopeful
term.
that he was not. I do not want to worry about this for the next 12 months.
Well, regardless, we need to be ready for the next 12 months in case he is right.
Well, I understand that. That is why I am suggesting that we need the food now.
Yes.
If the people get weak, it will just be that much more difficult.
Yes, well, honestly, I think we need to hold back the food until absolutely necessary. Portion it out quite smallly.
Yes, I do agree that might be necessary. Who in the village would be like I guess I just want to say the old woman who's been through a lot and knows how to make the soup that keeps you going.
People you can go to for cooking, probably Morgan's like handy with food. Lucia's an elderly woman, or a woman age. She might be good to handle that too. Winona, not much is known about her. So she's sort of up in the air.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should kind of quietly talk to perhaps Morgan and Lucia. They have been around for a long time, and they know how to make a deer flank last, if you want to put it simply.
Mm.
If we need to stretch out our food, we need to make sure that people don't get too weak and starve too much. A good soup, a good stew can go a long way if prepared correctly.
Yes, it can. Suffice to say, we won't be wasting any bones for stock.
No, exactly. So we need experienced cooks
Mm.
who know how to get the most out of what we have.
Fair
I will
enough.
go talk to them. But before we head out, let me talk to them and prepare them and ask if they are available and if they have any recommendations. And I will go find, I guess I'll go find Lucia. My first thought had been like the older women who'd been around for a while.
Alright, so that's what you're gonna go off doing, the other two? Anything?
Friend, Merrick, I just want to make sure I understand you when you say that we should be rationing right now. And I agree, to each according to their need at this point. But you're not suggesting that we don't feed everybody yet, are you?
What do you think? I'm curious. What do you think the best idea is? We feed everyone as if it were normal right from the start, and then when things get bad, we start cutting off the food.
I think right now we make sure everybody gets a full belly while we can. Starving them early for no good reason is likely to sap their strength, and we want to preserve that strength as long as we can.
Perhaps. As far as I'm concerned, they'd best get used to it soon. Care for preservation of the food, keeping stock of it, it's all important. The moment we begin to run out, we've lost. And we've already begun to run out. If things keep like this, it will be bad. To say the
You
absolute...
willing to volunteer to them to be one of the ones going hungry?
What, myself?
Yeah, since you seem so keen on the idea.
And tell me, who's going out hunting?
Well, we've established that, what was it, the Raphael fella and the,
Pavel.
what was the Pavel fella are supposed to be fairly decent hunters.
Yes. And if they go hunting...
Or do you think we should just let, I don't know, maybe the little ones die since they're obviously not going to be good hunters yet? Do you want to go talk to little Amelia in my camp and tell her that she's gonna die, or that you're gonna be withholding food from her tiny belly?
Well, if that's what it needs, then fine. To be honest...
But that's just it. It doesn't mean anything yet. We're not at that point yet, and you seem to be rushing towards it before we have to.
Yes. And that is the opinion of most who die of starvation. You think I haven't lived in the woods most of my life? You think I haven't
You
seen
think I haven't
rough
had a
winters?
few rough stretches where I didn't get food in my belly either? Doesn't mean I wish to inflict it on others before they need it.
And that's the point where you're mistaken. You don't think they need it yet.
No use trying to talk about it till we see how the next month's hunts go.
Yes, I suppose. We'll see. And regardless, those who hunt, those who are useful, those who can be of use and need to be of use, they will eat. It is that simple. So long as you understand our priorities, I think we'll get along fine. And if we're lucky, survive this.
My priority is to see that everyone survives as we can, and if not, as many survivors that we save as many as we can. If that means that people have to go hungry occasionally, that's fine. But just be aware, that might mean that you and your precious hunters sometimes might have to forego a meal if it means saving the lives of someone else when we...
Of course. Yes, I don't doubt that. But keep this in mind. If we come to a point where it is those that can gather food, or those that have no purpose here, those that can will. It is that simple. I do not have time for charity.
Keep in mind, though, we do need to keep the people's bellies full and we need to keep things warm, but we also need to make sure that people don't panic.
Yeah.
Cutting the food supply off early before we need to, or dramatically cutting it before it is absolutely necessary, likely to cause a panic. Letting a little girl or die while men's bellies are full is likely to cause a panic and cause tension in the camp that is just as potentially deadly as starvation. We need to balance these interests. I recognize it seems like we might have a different philosophical approach at times, but we do need to keep in mind the well-being of people mentally and forgive the word, but spiritually as well, to make sure that their morale stays up and they don't turn against us and against each other as much as possible.
Well, let me tell you something quite clearly. I could give a damn about spiritual. You have a point there. But regardless, one thing I know. Food in a belly keeps one alive. It doesn't matter how much food goes in, as long as there's food in. That's simple. We don't need to give them all of it. We don't need to feed them well. We just need to keep them alive. It doesn't matter if they're on the brink or not. But if you want them to get through this so badly, you might want to keep in mind that perhaps they'll have to suffer a bit to get there.
Friend, you ever hear of the Siege of Sapir? Medium-sized city a few years ago, was under siege by an enemy army for, went on 9 months. I managed to sneak some food in, figured I'd do a little good and make myself a killing in the process. And what I found, some of the wealthy, the lords, had a similar idea to you. But if you can't defend the city, if you can't pay for it, well, too bad. Not enough food to go around, and best to save it for the people who could prove useful. You know what those useless people did, my friend? They gathered together, they butchered the useful ones.
Well,
just saying, it's something to keep in mind.
Yes, it is. It is also something to quite keep in mind, the fact that I don't have a city against me, do I? I have 18 people, and I'm one of the few that have a bow. So you'd best keep that in mind.
Yeah, but everybody needs to sleep, yourself included.
Yes, and everyone needs to eat. Keep in mind, as well, it's not
People
as if
can go a
I'm
lot
sitting
longer
off in a
without
tower
food
off
than they
somewhere.
can go without sleep.
Yes. But keep in mind, I'm not sitting off in a tower hoarding food. I'm trying to keep these people alive. You keep that in mind. I certainly don't mind them suffering on the way, but if we do it this way, they will live. If push comes to shove, though, my point stands.
One last thing, friend. It seems like we might at times have some disagreements in the months ahead. But that's all well and good. But whatever a decision is made, whatever disagreements need to be aired, it's aired between myself, you, and the doctor. The rest of the people we need to present a united front to. Agreed?
Agreed.
Well, then we have an understanding, and who knows? Maybe this winter will turn out not to be as bad as we fear, and the that old kook will be just that, an old.
Perhaps. Or he's right, and we'll all starve to death. Regardless, we'll see how many survive and who comes out at the end. One way or another. With that, Merrick begins to walk back to the door, gathers things, and head back to his building. And the kind of faint stench of that musky animal scent from the deer earlier still clinging to him as he leaves the room.
Okay. Yeah, you talk with Lucia Vaughn. You learn some things from her about preserving food or rationing things out, making people think they're more full than they are. You know, she tells you a bit.
Okay.
We're gonna fast forward a bit through this month, though. Real quick, do you guys tell them the truth during the meeting, or if there even is a meeting, about your rations? That's an essential question.
I would say we tell them a half truth. It's nothing that would cause panic, but let them know that this is obviously going to be a bad winter and we need to be cautious.
Yep. Merrick would quite happily voice the opinion that we need to be careful with the food, regardless of whether we have a lot or little. Without, saying that we don't have much. He'd definitely make it sound like we have enough to get by. But he would kind of almost aggressively make the point he made towards Malcolm that even if we have quite a huge stockpile, we need to use it very carefully if it is as long as a winter as it seems.
Okay. So the rest of this month goes by. Allison from your building, Aki, sometime mid-month she passes out and people gather around her. She says she's okay, but you notice now she sleeps much longer and she's much weaker than she used to be. And then in Malcolm's tent, Amelia's cough worsens and her dad frets over her and demands medicine almost daily.
I will attend to her.
At this point, she's still at just one sickness.
Yes.
Perhaps it's best if we preserve what we have. The girl might still, her situation isn't dire, and she might still recover on her own.
What do I believe the odds are that she'll get better? Like, what are the odds that she'll get better on her own?
You think there's a 1 in 12 chance that she'll get better on her own. As for Allison, if you meet with her, you believe maybe there's a 1 in 20.
1 in what?
1 in 12 for Amelia, 1 in 20 for Allison.
1 in 12 for me. You're cutting out for some reason for me.
Am I?
Just,
Hello?
Yeah, you're good now, it seems.
It was just for me. It's happened before. I think it's Discord. So 1 in 12 and 1 in 20?
Yeah, 1 in 12 and then 1 in...
Okay, so neither one of them look good.
Yeah, they're sick. Medicine will cure them, but, they can always get better on their own, with sleep and water.
But the odds just aren't in their favor, and I can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not in danger of dying yet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, okay, if they get worse, does it take more medicine or one medicine?
One medicine will cure all illness, but food needs 1 per.
Okay, so this can wait. All right.
Yeah, out of game, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
In game, who knows? She might die.
right.
Certainly her father thinks so.
I will tell him. What you must do right now is you must keep her fever down, but you must still keep her warm. The fever is just masking what is really wrong with her. But she is not in such serious straits. She is young and strong. She could get better. I must go hunting here soon and find more food for us. When I get back, I will take a look at her again and make sure that she does not need any more help.
You want me to keep her warm, but I can feel the cold seeping in through the building, okay? I'll do what I can for my daughter, but you get her that damn medicine, or I swear I'll...
I will not let her die. I will not let her die. I am simply saying that she is young and she is strong. If you keep her warm and you keep her fever down, she will recover. And I will be back soon. I will not be gone long. And then I'll check on, what is it, Allison?
Yes.
And she looks worse.
She seems to occasionally pass out. She's much weaker than she should be for a woman of her age.
Hold on. I'll reach into my pocket and pull something out. So I'm going to take 1 unit of medicine. If she's got something different, or if there's different kinds of diseases and there's more of a chance she'll just arbitrarily die, which I'm basing purely off of the odds.
No. So everyone will die at 3 sickness. I'm just describing them differently and giving them chances to recover without medicine.
Oh, okay.
Are you still gonna smuggle out a medicine without telling your bros and then...
No. We don't have a lot of that, and I'm not looking for any because we need food, so I'm not going to risk it. I will... I'll talk to her family. What you need to do is you need to make sure that she has ample food, and that she is always staying reclining. I think perhaps she is having a loss of the blood inside her, that she has gotten too skinny, and she needs more humors to be built up in her. So she needs rest and she needs food. And I will be back soon to very sure that this fixes her, but she is just so thin. And then I will head out. But I don't want to use the medicine until I need to, since we only have 2 units and I'm not going to be getting any more this month at all.
Gotcha. Okay, so, top of the round, right? We'll start it off with the temperature.
Hey.
Each building for this month will need 1 fuel. However, due to the occurrence in Akigat, the biting winds will require each building to get 2 fuel in order to make it through the month.
That is not good.
Rough stuff.
Boy,
Who is the active player?
What happens if you
I
don't
think
have
that was
enough...
Vaughn.
Yeah, but we may switch that, because what happens if you don't have enough fuel?
If a building does not have enough fuel, someone will freeze to death.
Okay, there's no way for us to get enough fuel. So if somebody has to gather fuel, because we have 1.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend is that you actually go loose and gather fuel. We bring 2 people, helpers, to gather food and do as best we can, and we may just have to cut ration right off the bat.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't see any
that
other
makes
option.
sense to me.
You can
Yeah,
also
that makes
slaughter your horses for 2 fuel each.
Or
For
you
2
mean-
fuel
just came
or
in.
for 2 food?
2
Burn
food,
the
sorry.
horses.
2 food. Okay, yes.
It's warm and it cooks it.
The horse is a witch.
Okay.
She's made of wood.
That moment where you apply goblin logic.
Vaughn, I agree. Given that we need that extra fuel this month, I should probably take lead on it. And yeah, bring both Pavel and Rufio to help hunt. So yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So we'll take 2 of the NPC hunters to help with extra gratuity rolls.
Try recruiting them. Who knows how they feel, man?
We already got the agreement from Pavel, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pavel said he would help. We need to talk to... Who else did I write down?
Rufio.
Yeah, Rufio. You want to go talk to Rufio? Or do you want me to?
You know these people better than I. Probably best coming from you.
All right. I'll go find Rufio.
Yeah, we'll save Tom on this one since there shouldn't be any problems for this recruitment. He'll agree to come along with you. But in the future, if there are like situations that may cause tension, you know, let's say hypothetically you want to recruit Thomas for whatever reason, his daughter's sick, he probably won't be coming along. We have to really convince him.
Got it.
Makes sense.
That's what I'm getting out of this. We'll skip some of the RP in that regard because we are on a time limit.
Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll get Rufio and Pavel, and then we'll head out and do our gathering with Malcolm and Lee for fuel.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll for gathering the fuel.
Real quick, wait, it does say you ration the supplies before you go out. This step is skipped during the very first turn.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that mean that people just die?
Yep, Russian. Well, I thought because they'll be able to get, go at least a month without food. Oh, but I see. So we need...
I think we should switch gather and ration.
Yeah, because we would have needed to roll max to survive before they died if they actually ate last turn. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Well, because...
Or the assumption is that we gathered what we gathered plus 18 last month.
Oh no, that is the assumption. The first month, everyone had all their needs free. This is just additional, you know?
Yeah, this is month 2, right? So this is what we have stocked up. So this is, I guess... Yeah, let me see. Yeah, so we would fill everything up now and disperse it basically to what people have for the time being. So we would mark them as hungry if we didn't give them food, right? Yeah.
Well, we'd have to. We'd have to mark 11 people as hungry before we go gather.
I say we switch steps 2 and 3.
Okay.
It'll solve our problem.
So we gather before
Before
rationing.
rationing, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Which was kind of the assumption we originally had, I think.
So we'll just go with that. Maybe if I fucked up, whatever. If we
I-
replace
It should be fine.
I think just because we didn't fully understand like that we could bring people and we didn't understand like how much we needed to gather first month, that just kind of fucked things up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there was much we could have done different, really.
Well, we would have brought 2 woodcutters with us last turn. That's really what we're
Or
we'll
like
have, we'll have
two
people
extra
die
food
if we
people
don't.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
true.
have people die from lack of fuel
Yeah.
if we do that first.
Alright, so who you bringing with you?
Pavel and Rufio for food gathering.
Is that agreed by the group?
Sounds
Yes,
good.
it was. And Malcolm was taking the lead and searching for fuel.
Okay, so Malcolm, you got 9 units. I'm just mark that off. You guys can talk amongst the hunt real quick while I do some bookkeeping.
Yeah,
This is
so
good.
Malcolm, recognizing the heavy snow and the lack of time, is gonna look for areas where rather than needing to chop down a tree, the topsoil is likely to be looser, or trees are likely to have recently fallen, to try and find logs that are still good for firewood, but won't require quite as much effort to carry or to chop apart. And he does a decent job of it. Finds like a decent sized tree, oak that was blown down in the recent harsh winds that he could, with a little help from the others, take back to camp and use for a good amount of firewood.
Nice.
On your hunts for... Oh, also, Merrick and Von Don, roll your gratuity.
You have to roll for your class only, right? I can't roll
Yeah.
for food.
No.
Oh yeah, your boy Merrick, he won the bet. Ooh,
Yes.
I'm getting some medicine too. Nice.
So yeah, you and your competition with Pavel. Pavel only manages to get 1 unit of food. He's very angry that he lost, but he accepts defeat. You do very well, yes? I get you next time if you need me.
Of course, I'm always down.
Rufio, on the other hand, even though you've instructed him to gather food, he does his best. He doesn't manage to snag anything this time. I thought I was helping. Seems I'm off my game.
That is disappointing, but sometimes the luck is not with you.
Okay, now I gotta do 2 more rolls or something else.
Ba, ba, ba.
Okay. Other than that, it's an uneventful trip. You guys managed to gather your supplies. I suppose you head back to the village.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys make it back to the village. Rufio himself returns home, starts bragging about what you guys gathered, sharing it with all the people.
So what were the totals then? We got 3 extra.
If you look to the left, this is your total. On the left bottom, right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 medicine, about 10, 11 food,
Oh, okay.
and 10 fuel.
All right, so we're gonna have to worry about at least recover for fuel for quite a while.
Remember, this month, everyone's gonna need 2 fuel, not to freeze to death. Oh,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, occurrence.
Yeah, that would be just coming up.
I'm gonna deal it to me because I can't read it if I deal it to the player.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll let you know that in a bit.
Okay. Well, we have enough fuel for each house to get the tool necessary. Do we? So we only have 11 food, and we need 18 to feed everybody. We could slaughter the horses, which would give us another 6 to get us at 17.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, but unless we get unlucky on the fuel needs again, we likely have enough spare fuel after this to cover a month, which might get us ahead on food. I prefer to let people go hungry for 1 month. Some people go hungry for 1 month in hopes that we can get enough food rolls.
Yeah, Merrick stands by his stance of have everyone ration extremely tightly to get them used to it, and then start opening the valve a bit next month.
And even though I know it will be a tight month, I must insist that what is it? Amelia and yeah, I just had it written down here. Where was the other one? Oh, Allison must eat. They need the food or they will not get better.
I suppose.
I figure I agree, and perhaps we could ask for volunteers among the others who'd be willing to forego a full belly this month.
Who do we know? I mean, obviously, the one guy we talked to at the beginning was kind of wigging out, but do I know who the more stable people are? The people who have gone through this kind of stuff and might be willing to sacrifice a little, eat a little thin gruel for a month?
You'd have to like ask them individually. People who could probably sturdy. People who are like that kind of people, you know. You'd imagine Thomas would give off food for his daughter. Um, you know that the brothers are very generous, kind, big folk, so maybe them. I don't know. Lucas doesn't eat much. He's a little kid. Should probably eat more. But I'm not sure his father would approve of that.
Okay. I recommend that perhaps we have a choice. We can either have a town meeting and tell everybody that we must ration this month, or we can perhaps talk individually to some of the more reasonable members of the community. Perhaps Thomas and uh, Gregor and his brother would be willing to forego a little food. But that will not necessarily help all. I think it will become readily apparent that this has not been a good month
Well,
with the cold coming in.
there's a simple way around that. Cut everyone's rations, give some to the kids and the sick ones, and then no one's suspicious. We keep things tight from the start. They assume it's for a reason. They don't know whether it's bad or good.
I do have to say that would avoid any sense of favoritism. And
But
no one will argue about
potentially would
feeding.
result in weaker villagers and less people able to help us on the.
Well, perhaps we need to make some tough choices. We must make sure that those we need are fed a little more, even if we do it on the sly, to make sure they are strong. Perhaps we need to make sure that both Pavel and Rufio get a little more than their fair share. They will be staying out hunting. People may not notice. But I do agree they need to be strong.
Well,
But I also agree that right now is only the beginning of the winter, and a little suffering now may save much greater pain later.
Well,
We had a good run. We have enough wood for a while. We can focus on trying to find game and the roots and the berries that we need. Or the roots, the berries are dead last time.
I'll agree with that, but except for the part where we sneak the hunters the extra food. Um,
Not so much
we've
sneak as in
this
they
will
will be
last for a
busy
while.
and they will be
Well,
busy.
I think we tell people the truth. You know, we don't have enough food for this month. The hunters are the best bet we have for getting enough food for next month, and so we need them to be strong, and we want to make sure to feed the sick enough to make sure to try and keep them safe, and everyone else, ourselves included, are gonna have to tighten our belts a bit.
hmm, I would tend to agree. Oddly enough, hiding it from them serves no purpose other than risking the fact that they could find out. I say we let them know right from the start. Those who are useful and can hunt have priority, so that they can keep everyone else alive. And then we let them decide. If they want to try and raid the store, they can. And we'll see how long they survive.
Well, we must make a decision, and I will. If you two agree, I will agree also. But I have lived in this town my whole life, and for as much as I love these people, rational decisions are not their strong suit in situations like this. Some are tougher than others, but parents worry about their children, and those without children tend to worry about themselves before others in very many cases. So I warn you that while being direct is well, in your case Malcolm Noble, and in your case Merrick pragmatic, um, there are risks, but I will exceed. We we cannot be like animals and fight all the time. Let's make a decision and hope for the best.
Uh, we'll see how it goes. And if not, well, I'm sure we'll get by.
So I guess then we want to schedule a town meeting and let everybody know who's going to get a little more food than others.
Yep. Ration it on out.
Right, you guys managed to gather the majority of the town. Noticeably, Allison does not join you. Neither does Silas or Winona. Everyone else seems to have gathered. Or Amelia. So Amelia, Winona, Silas, and Allison. Missing.
Oh, what's with Silas and okay, Amelia, Allison, Silas, and who
And
else?
Winona.
What's wrong with Silas and Winona?
They just have not gathered from your call. They could be at their home or they could be off doing something.
Why don't you two get started talking to everyone, and I'll check in on the missing.
Okay.
Fair enough.
By the way, please check in on Amelia and Allison. Let me know how they are.
Of
Whether they
course,
are eating, if they are not, let me know. Because if they are refusing to eat, if their illness has gotten worse, we must do something.
I'll look into it and I'll let you know.
Alright, so we'll do the meeting first. Everyone gathers around the town. It's cold and people don't want to be there.
Hello, everyone. We wanted to have a meeting to let you know what our situation is. As you well know, last month was bitterly cold. Unfortunately, that meant that it was much more difficult to find game than we expected. I will only start by saying that if you have any further questions you may want to ask Merrick, but the end result being that we are a bit short on the food, and we must tighten our belts here a bit for a while. Hopefully the change in the weather will make it more easier to find game. Merrick, I will let you explain.
Yes. Well, although we could certainly feed most everyone with what we've gotten, regardless, as I said before, things could get dire, and we need to be ready for that point. So, in turn, we'll be cutting rations down low, particularly low, to make sure everyone stays alive long enough to get their next ration.
And with this, you can hear murmuring in the crowd. A couple people turn to Rufio, who had previously been singing about their great hunt you guys went on and how bountiful the food was. And, from the crowd, you can see Thomas is like,
So who eats and who doesn't?
Well, it's not as if anyone will quite starve. Everyone will get something, but it won't be necessarily more than meager, to say the very least. But we have come to a vote, and those who are ill will have priority. Them, and those who gather. Because of the fact, simply enough, that if no one gathers, you'll all starve to death. Now, if anyone would like to refute this, you can feel free to do so. I'll jot down a note.
people are talking amongst themselves. You can hear the young lad and Luke is like, I gather! And then there's, the brothers are like, being hearty and talking, and everyone seems to be upset at the information, concerned.
Let me make this very clear regardless. If you listen, and you help us get things set up properly, you don't act overly, we'll keep you fed enough, keep you alive, so that you see the summer again. So that spring dawns, and everything warms up. But if you don't, and you eat too much, and you move too much, and we run out of food, you'll starve to death. It's that simple. It's like that every winter. Except, now we have a madman's prophecy in the way. So, if the madman's right, I'd prefer to make you all survive. Even if that means you going hungry for a few days. Or a bit more. Regardless, if you listen, you'll live. If you don't, then we'll all starve.
So you express this all to them, and general consensus is that no one's happy, but they're, for now, willing to comply. Pavel, Rufio, and a couple others seem to be content with the decision, for some reason. Now then. Who was it? Who's going off to search for the missing people?
Malcolm.
Yo, Malcolm.
Where do you want to hit up first?
Check the cabins first.
Yep. Which one?
Let's start with Malcolm's own cabin.
Yeah, you head back to your cabin. You can see Amelia. She's sort of curled up, covered in sheets, and Winona's there reading to her.
Hey, Amelia, Winona, did you hear about the meeting we were having?
Winona closes her book and looks at you. Amelia coughs and sits up. It's like,
my dad told me to stay here.
That makes sense. And Winona, I take it you decided to stay and look after her? Correct?
The girl is sick. She can't be left alone now, can she?
Of course, makes sense. Well, since you're here, other than the meeting, I've got news that it's unfortunate, but you need to know it. So far, the hunting hasn't been as good as we'd hoped, and with the wind as cold as it is, we needed to prioritize fuel to keep everyone warm this month. Because of that, there's not going to be as much food going around as there should be. Now, little Amelia, don't you worry, you're sick, and so we're going to make sure that you get as much as you need. You'll be having a full belly, but for adults, Winona and myself included, the food is going to be a little tighter this month. Just the sick and the those who are participating in the hunts, who are necessary for the hunting, are going to be getting a full ration to try and make sure that we have enough to make it through next month as well. I know this may be upsetting, but best you both know.
Oh, is my daddy gonna eat?
Your daddy is gonna be eaten, yes, but might not be as full of a belly as he's used to. But don't you worry, next month will be better. We'll be able to bag the big game. You know, we were this close to finding the where the deer have been making the trails lately. Little bit of luck and everyone will be stuffed full next month. You wait and see.
Oh, that's good.
And then Winona will sort of whisper something in Amelia's ear and she'll laugh. But then she'll get up and approach you.
Malcolm, if you have a moment, I would like to talk with you.
Of course, Winona. Let's step over here so we can speak.
Amelia picks up the book that Winona left and sort of turns away and starts reading from it to herself, coughing every now and then.
I'm sure when you say that we will be rationing, you have food accounted for yourself. Is that not right? Sure you won't be going hungry.
In fact, miss, I will be going just as hungry right now.
Let's cut the bullshit, Malcolm, okay? We know you're gonna eat, and I want to eat too.
She'll sort of start touching your arm and renew.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure I'm satisfied.
Whatever it takes, you say?
That's right.
Wouldn't mind getting a little dirty, a little tumbly, if you know what I'm saying. Malcolm says.
And she'll sort of nod along, try to get a little closer to you.
Malcolm will lean in close and then whisper in here. Then you better learn to hunt, because that's the only way any of us are getting a full meal.
She'll sort of look angry, and then she'll back away from you. She says,
Very well. You give me a knife and I'll skin something.
We'll see. With any luck, it won't come to that. Has the lass's condition deteriorated at all?
She was sick yesterday and she's sick today. She'll probably be sick tomorrow. As far as I can tell, it's the same as always.
But just the cough? Her fever hasn't gotten worse or anything, correct?
I'm no doctor, but no.
Very well. I'll leave you to it then. Good day to you, Miss Winona. Good day to you, Miss Amelia. Hope it's a good book you're reading.
Oh, it is, Malcolm. Do you want to play marbles later?
Of course. I still gotta get back at you for beating me so badly the other night.
She'll laugh.
Best what are we at now? 33 out of 70 something?
Something like that.
With that, Malcolm will go to the other cabins looking for who else was missing?
Silas and Allison.
Are they both in cabin 1, I believe?
One of them is in cabin. Allison's in Merrick's, and then Silas is in Von Don.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with Von Don.
Yeah.
You go in there and it's empty.
Okay, then gonna go check Mary.
You go into Merrick's. Allison is there asleep. She's got a rag on her forehead.
Okay. Malcolm will kind of lean down and check on her. Put a hand up against her forehead, just to check how her temperature is, how she seems to be doing.
She's running a bit hot, but it doesn't seem to be a serious fever or anything. She's definitely out cold.
Okay. Malcolm is then gonna go check the storeroom to see if the other guy potentially is.
You go head to the storeroom, and on your way, you pass by where you keep your horses, your livestock, and you can see Silas hunched over one of the horses.
Silas, my friend, I was looking for you. What are you doing over there?
He turns, he says, I heard some noise, and he sort of motions towards the horse. The horse seems to have somehow broken a picket fence and gotten impaled, and it's whinnying in pain, and he's sort of like rubbing its hair, trying to calm it.
Oh, gods. How did this happen? Oh, the poor beast.
I don't think we can save this one.
No, I think you're right. Most everybody is in the meeting at the moment. I think it best if we put this beast out of its misery now, before the others hear and see it.
I suppose you're right. Poor thing.
Well, on the plus side, it won't have to be freezing in this winter anymore.
I suppose you're right. So that was the occurrence. One of your livestock got impaled on a fence, providing one food.
Just one, not two?
Just one.
Ugh.
So it was one of our horses or one of the other livestock? Because the horses are worth two.
So yeah, the horses are worth two. The occurrence is you get one.
Yeah, I imagine it was like all beat up somehow, or like somehow damaged.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Shoot. Should have killed all our horses. Haha.
Yeah, right.
I mean, technically speaking, just killing them all off at the start probably actually isn't that bad of an idea, because it doesn't.
Well, you get maximum value out of it at least.
Yeah,
Hey, who knows? Maybe an occurrence occurs and you might need some speed.
true. Yeah.
Okay. Well, after killing the horse and moving it to the storeroom, Malcolm and Cyrus would explain the situation to Malcolm, and Malcolm would explain the situation to Cyrus, and then rejoin the other.
Gotcha. The meeting's over. People have dispersed and grumbling. How are you guys rationing for this month? You got your meds, fuel, and food.
So it looks like people.
Has anyone else gotten sick, or anyone's condition like?
You got a ration before we find out.
Okay, then let's hold off on medicine this month.
Yeah, definitely.
Every house is getting 2 wood.
Mm-hmm.
Is that agreed by the group? Everything has to be a group agreement.
Yeah.
yeah.
We need 2
Yeah,
food to
all
go
the-
everywhere, or wood. I mean,
Alright.
to go everywhere.
So
So
6 fuel has been removed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I think we're only giving food to the hunting people and the sick people right now. Everyone else is gonna.
Now,
That was my understanding, right?
Yeah, and I'm assuming that means us two as gatherers.
I mean,
Do you
Merrick
need to
was
be,
looking
can you
at it
gather
as-
if you're not hungry.
Yeah, Merrick was looking
Go
at
ahead,
it
sorry.
as pretty much anyone who went out and gathered a significant amount should eat, more so than just the hunters. Like anyone who's like, because we need firewood. We need whoever's going to get firewood to be able to go get firewood, etc.
All right. So since we're focused on food, are we agreed that we're going to take out Pavel and what's his face again?
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
Just
Yeah.
tell me who is not eating. Or mark off who's not eating, you know?
Yeah, I can.
So put 1 mark in their hunger.
Let me-
You can manage your own houses. Makes it easier.
Yeah, I'll do that. Real
Which
quick.
one's hunger? I can't even see anything.
So the boxes on the right of each icon are your hunger boxes, or two of
Okay.
them.
There we go.
So I've got... I don't know who they are.
Their names are under all their icons.
Oh, I don't think it's visible on our end.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
can't see
If they're set
Yeah.
up as tokens, yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, it's no problem.
So I just need to know who... So...
How do I make it visible if they're...
Not sure. It's been a bit. Let me see. Oh, I have control.
Alright, I'll just do this. So, Aki, I'm gonna go left, right, bottom, left, to the right, okay?
Oh, for my people?
So you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Gregor,
Mhm.
Nikolai, Allison, Morgan, Pavel.
Okay, so Pavel eats, and Allison is sick. Got it?
Von Don, you've got Rufio, Silas, Lucas, Lee, Lucia.
Okay, so I need to... Rufio, I marked him because I didn't know who it was, but he needs to be unmarked. I can't figure out how to erase anything.
Oh, yeah, I can't select yours.
There it goes.
And then Malcolm, you've got Alexander, Thomas, Marla, Winona, Amelia.
Amelia's the only one getting like full food. All the others are ration.
Right, so we should have 4 people aside from ourselves getting fed.
And all three of you are eating?
Well, since we're all going out for
Yeah.
random gatherings.
That's Merrick's vote. Yeah.
Alright, so
What's that?
7 food rations will be removed.
Out of how many did we have?
12.
Okay, so we're starting next month with 5. Gotcha.
And no medicine shall be dispersed.
I don't believe it's serious enough yet, correct?
Yeah, ideally, I think
Correct.
we want one more month, right?
Yeah. I believe
Yeah.
we want one more month.
Alright, now we roll for illness. One person sick. Nikolai gets sick.
Son of a bitch. Okay, so we've got... Amelia is on 2.
We're sitting pretty good for now.
Alicia is on 2. And
Their
Nikolai...
conditions do not worsen, no.
Oh, they don't worsen.
Ooh. Lucky.
Okay, so they're still on 1 illness
They're
then?
just not getting any better either.
Okay. Well, that means we can float another month if we need to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna be moving on to month 3 as things go by. People notice that the 3 of you ate. Nothing comes of it. Who's in charge?
I think that would be Aki again.
Ooh.
As long as it
Definitely
doesn't
Aki.
be in a row, then we need food.
America's gonna go get some food.
We'll
Alrighty.
roll for temperature. 2. Each building will need 2 fuel this month.
Oof.
Well, we have 5, so as I could literally roll a 1 and we'll still be okay this month at least.
I think you have 4
Oh,
fuel.
yeah.
We should have 4.
Yeah, because we used up 6 and we had 11.
Okay.
It'll be fine. You might want to put Rufio on gathering wood then instead of food potentially. I don't know. It'll be rough.
Yeah, let's put Rufio on gathering wood then.
Yep.
Yeah, that way we know we should hopefully get enough.
Yeah.
Remember, he doesn't have to be your only gatherer. Other people can gather too.
True.
Does it matter whether they ate?
Hunger will affect performance, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's have him gather wood and let's have Pavel hunt this month.
Sounds good. Alrighty. So, shall we gather then? Yeah?
I believe so, yeah.
Cool. Alright, here we go. Come on, my boy. Oh, yes. And then, food boy. Oh my gosh, yes. Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Two of you for gratuities.
Ooh, okay, even. That's not so bad.
Ooh.
So let's see. Malcolm got 2 fuel, and Vaughn got 2 medicine. Okay. On your trip once more, Pavel assists and manages to do about the same he did last time. Rufio actually manages to trip one of his own traps. Oh, what was he gathering? He wasn't going for food, was he?
He was getting wood.
Wood.
Right. So the tool he was giving manages to break during the beginning of your trip, and he's not of much assistance otherwise after that.
Okay, but we gathered 17 food
Fuck.
Yes.
and two wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at 19 food right now.
But we gathered 17, or we gathered... Because we still had 5 left.
Yeah, we should have 22 total.
You got 13 food. Where'd you get the...
Or well, because we got. Let's see.
So Aki
Yeah, it would have been
gathered,
14. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 14. Yeah, I can see it now.
I thought Aki gathered 12, and then how much did the
Pavel got it, or
Yeah, Pavel got
Pavel
2,
got 2.
right?
So it's
okay,
14.
okay, gotcha.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so 19. Okay, gotcha.
That's good. So that's good because that means we can feed everyone this month, and we're back up, topped up.
I don't know if feeding everyone once eliminates the hunger from before, or if it just means that they don't deteriorate this.
I don't know.
Everyone needs 1 food a month.
Yeah. So
Well,
for
they
the
were
box,
hungry last month.
does eating untick a food box? Basically, what we're wondering.
I don't think it does. Unless you give them double rations, it won't.
Oh, so you can give
Yeah,
double
so
rations
everyone's
to undo
just
that.
still at.
Okay, interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
'Cause it says that for medicine, it doesn't say it for food, you know? How 1 clears all.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, that doesn't bode well then, because
Yeah.
we can't keep up.
Yeah, there's literally no way at that point. Which I mean is to be expected. That's how
Some
it works.
people have to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We should go ahead and slaughter the 2 horses then, just to make sure that we get the full meat ration.
Alright, good idea. Cause let's see. So if we were to go hungry for 1, right? Would we have a minus to like the next time we gather?
You would.
Okay. And so we can't
It'd be
recover that
minor.
1.
There'd be a chance of getting less.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if we were to ourselves go down 1, we wouldn't be able to recover that without using a bunch of extra food.
Correct.
Okay.
Or an occurrence for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, we definitely don't want that to happen. So ideally, This is what, month 3?
Yes, this is the 3rd month.
Well, we
So
can't.
yeah, well, let's just give everyone gets a ration this month. No one's dying this month, and then we'll have to figure it out next month and see how much food we manage to get.
I believe you can have 2 checks, and then the 3rd check would kill him. I don't think the 2nd check kills him.
Oh, okay. I still think we feed everyone
Yeah,
once this
I
month.
tend to agree, and then we can go from there, really. Although the next month is going to be pretty harrowing if we don't have a base amount, because Merrick won't be harvesting next month.
Yeah, but that's just what we're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
I think next month, unless it's another like too cold winter where we need double fuel, I think unless it's that
True.
Dr. Vanden should go for food, and we should double up on the guys looking for food.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, you say that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
don't forget we are now at 0 wood.
Okay, so we should probably do well. Let's see what the weather looks like next month, and then decide how many other guys to bring for wood. But I think at the very least, Dr. Von Don, and Merrick would both be looking for food next month.
That's good.
So, rations. What are we doing? Final answer.
Yep, everybody eats. Leaves us with 1, looks like.
And every place gets the 2 wood necessary to stave off the cold.
Mhm.
You're left with 1 food remaining and no fuel.
Does that take us to the occurrence? Hmm.
Sorry, take us to what?
I think it's the occurrence, yeah?
I'm sorry, yeah. I was managing the sheet.
No problem.
You divvy out supplies, everyone's hungry, no one grumbles. I mean, everyone eats, so no one grumbles. Everyone gets adequate fuel. Occurrence. Where is it? Oh, okay. Sometime throughout the month, you hear whispers of a few jars of food that were buried a long time ago for pickling.
Oh,
There's
hold
a
on a
chance
minute.
that animals have gotten to it first.
Real quick. Read very down on the quick reference. If a villager has is hungry box checked and receives food, uncheck the box.
Oh, it does.
For villager who receive medicine, unchecked. So they do work the same.
You do? Dope.
Yes. It's
Makes
right down
life
at the bottom.
easier.
I forgot there's a thing of all the stuff right down there. I didn't even
Yeah.
notice.
Things to reference. Or remember. So we can clear all their hunger.
Yeah, so that does clear that then in that case. Which would save us a lot of...
Nice.
Yeah, that means we
Yeah.
should be able to
Feel
actually...
free to clear that as the thing loads. What the hell happened? Alright, so I get to roll 1d3, add 1d3 of food to the storeroom. If a 3 is rolled, roll an additional 1d3. Ooh.
Hmm.
You guys hear rumors,
Come on.
probably from Lucas, about buried jars of food.
Ooh.
Okay, some kimchi.
Would someone like to roll a 1d3?
Sure.
We'll do active player rolls. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it is your occurrence.
Oh, okay. It's a 1.
You have 1 additional ration of food.
We got some fucking outhouse kimchi.
To be fair, that exactly doubled the number of rations we have.
It's a good point, actually. Mm.
You guys are gonna slaughter both your horses?
I actually say no. Let's hold off on that.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to hold off a little bit longer, because yeah, I think the whole an occurrence thing could happen is like could go either way, right? Like could be right as long as you have two. Maybe who knows? Maybe it has a baby. Bit of a surprise to suddenly just magically have a baby, but you never know.
Yeah, it can't happen.
Only one.
Thomas, possibly from hanging around his daughter for so long, seemed to have caught her cold.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wait, that wasn't a 1d10. I gotta reroll the 1d10. But Amelia does seem to have recovered. She just passed on her illness to her father.
Oh, yay!
That's also...
Way to go,
Ooh.
Amelia.
Sorry, there you go.
Hey.
So, somewhere throughout the month, Amelia gets better, but her father falls ill.
All well and good.
And that still leaves Alicia Nikolai sick, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Oh, Nikolai. I didn't roll for Nikolai. That's the one I was missing. Like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
yeah. He's a stout lad.
He's still sick.
Dang.
But not worse.
No.
But oh,
Okay, so they all have one. So we're still good.
yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So unless there's anything else you guys want to do.
All right, so I'm going out hunting, correct?
Sounds good.
Or snaring. I will go out and snare what I can. And find some roots and berries.
Who's going?
So that's Vaughn, not Malcolm.
Yeah, I just was like, wait a minute. That's the wrong thing.
The temperature seems to be getting a little warmer. The snow's clearing up a bit. So each house will only need one fuelless one.
Yay!
Yay. Yeah, really, no doubt.
So let's bring one of the guys experienced in logging as well.
Bring Gregor.
Okay, yeah. Let's bring Gregor, and him and myself can try and gather firewood.
Big boy Gregor.
And then... Yeah, big boy Gregor, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, keep his brother warm.
And then Aki, you and Hobble
Going hunting.
going hunting
Yeah.
along with me.
So Merrick, you go approach Gregor.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess he would be the one. Yeah. And we wanted him to get wood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna be helping me with fuel.
Merrick heads over. How goes it? Staying warm enough?
It could be warmer, yes.
I imagine. But I suppose it's as warm as it's going to be for now. So,
I can come along. Keep my brother warm if I gather wood. He starts flexing.
Good. You're apt to it. That's actually what I was going to ask you about.
Haha! Merrick, you know me long time. I'll gather many wood for us.
Very good. Yes. Wonderful. Stay warm yet. And I'll keep our bellies full.
Yes, and keep eye on brother, okay? I don't want him to. He is a good man.
Of course. Don't worry. You and your brother will do quite well.
It's good to hear. I am worried about Allison, though. She's been sick so long.
Yes, hopefully she recovers soon. If not, we'll end up having to dole out a fair bit of medicine, I imagine. But, for now, things as they stand, she shouldn't get worse.
I hear old mayor daughter get better? That's good news, eh?
Yes, quite good. Hopefully she stays that way, although sounds like her father caught what she had. Well, if she beat it, I'm sure he might as well.
Younger generation always stronger, who knows?
Yes, tend to agree. Regardless, we'll get by with your wood and my meat.
Heyo.
Yes, of course. Anyways, when do we go?
Soon. It'll be a long month, gathering everything up. I'll come get you when it's time.
Good.
That miracle kind of, more so than a handshake, it's like one of those, like, forearm wrap things that you do, right?
Yeah.
And kind of just, like, really clasp arms with him and, shake and head back to get the others and start prepping everyone to go out.
Alright. The others go out. Unless there's anything else anyone wanted to do. Who you bring with you?
Gregor and Pavel.
So this is Pavel's third trip, correct?
Correct.
America's got fucking Buff Boy House. It's crazy.
Alright. We'll start with Von Don. Give me your rolls. What do you get?
I'm getting food.
Von Don. Give me the food
Hungry
roll.
boy.
Gather
You
it.
do not get your additional supplies.
Correct.
I'm feeling a one.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey. Roll higher.
That's
Go
Not
home.
bad.
The other two, give me your
Yeah.
gratuity rolls for your type.
Gratuity boys. Hey.
So we got 2 units of
Pretty
food.
tasty.
2 units of fuel. Then we have our boy, Pavel. Ooh. Fortunately, Pavel this month is not able to help. Then we have our boy, Gregor. Aki, he's your house, high or low?
Gonna be. I need to. Low. Now you. Ah, shit.
Gregor, with his strength, manages to bring home 1 unit of fuel.
Whew, that's cutting it pretty close.
They all have different
But
little
nonetheless.
stats associated with them, different roles and what they do. But let's see if anyone gets hurt yet. So Pavel, this is his 3rd trip out. That's not right.
That's a 10. I've done that before.
Okay.
Many
And
times.
Gregor first. Okay. Other than that, Gregor manages to bring home a nice big old log of wood. Pavel, I do not know what is going on. They both sound the same, apparently.
Yeah, that's fine.
Common regional accent.
It's that
Yeah.
house, man.
Yeah, that's why Merrick is like the fucking guy who just showed up. Yeah, it's perfect.
All right.
Get the house of like fucking buff boys and the sick lady.
So we're sitting on 12 food.
Not bad.
It will be another lean month, I believe, but we will get by.
Yes. Regardless, I think as long as we keep this up, we should do fairly well.
You can only hope. Become ill, I've got a fair amount of supplies for that saved up.
Yes, it's quite good to keep a good stock of medicine.
So what should we do?
Only doing well if anyone gets worse.
Should we again feed only the sick?
The sick and the gatherers. Yes, as was.
As before,
It's been working so far.
it worked well. Everybody ate before. I think they will understand. We are in a slightly better position now than we were then. I only worry that the temperature gets cold. Our wood supply is not good.
I think it'll be alright. We'll just have to be keen on gathering next time, as much as we can.
Should we have another meeting?
Probably just something simple, let everyone know the situation stands.
We can just go house to house. How about we all just tell the people in our house? And I must
Sounds
visit all
good.
these sick ones anyway, so that is good.
Makes sense to me. I'll tell my people, and you can tell.
So I'll go back to my house and tell everybody. I think who's in my house again? I should have wrote that down.
This is Von Don.
But yeah, Von Don.
Have.
You got Rufio, Silas, Lucas, Lee, and Lucia. A lot of L's, triple L's, didn't notice that. Lucas, Lee, Lucia, bottom three. Rufio, Silas, top two.
All right. Well, so far Rufus has been all but useless. Do we want to bring him out again?
Oh. He's a bit sketch.
Yeah. I mean, he's gone out and failed like the 2 times he went out.
Who has?
Rufio.
Rufio? I thought Pavel was the guy who keeps repeatedly failing.
No, Pavel's
Pavel-
done work except for last time.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he failed this
Gotcha.
time, but the last couple
But
he
we
got
also
us
might not
food.
want to bring out Pavel. He said, "Oh, let me look at this times." The more times he's out, I mean, am I assuming the more time in a row we bring him out, the more dangerous it is?
So every time you bring him out, I lower it, and it's roll under. As long as you roll under, so right now he's at 7, he's fine, right? If he rolls like a 7, 8, or a 9,
Okay.
he would have gotten injured.
And then probably give them a gap to kind of recoup, and then...
So is it just one turn gap, or is it more?
It'll go down, so like, he's up to 3, he's gone 3 in a row, while, what's his name, Rufio just got a rest day, so he's back down to 1 instead of 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if we're just...
So probably...
Go ahead.
Hell, I'd say go down probably one more, since food has been such a big one, and then let him recoup. See if we could, because if we go for food next time, the more we stock up, the safer we'll be the next month, and he can cut down on it.
Okay, so send Pavel, and do you want to deal with Rufio again, or do you want to pull Silas? Silas was next in line for food. I can go talk.
Why
to him.
don't we try Silas?
Sounds good.
I will go talk to Silas.
Yeah, so you approach him, he's there with his wife.
Silas, I have a favor to ask you.
What is it?
Well, we are again going to need, as you've been told, need to ration food, but if you are willing to help us hunt and gather this month, I think perhaps we can make sure that it's for you, and perhaps you can give a little to your wife. But we need the help, so we are asking you to come with us as we hunt this month.
I'm not quite the hunter I used to be, but I guess I can show you a few tricks.
I am quite sure you have, and Merrick would be very happy to learn anything he can. So I thank you very much. And we will make sure that you get your share so that you can be strong and help.
If you're giving me a share, might as well give it to my wife. I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah. She's more important than me.
I will leave that up to you. Between you and me, you can do as you wish, but we need your help. So I thank you very much.
All right.
And
With
okay.
that, divvy up your rations. We'll end this month, and I guess we'll call it to some sense leave.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have an early meeting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I
This
got it.
game said it will take 2 hours.
All
That's
good,
fucking
man.
bullshit.
Well, if we'd stop role playing all the damn time.
Well, I think also they were probably. Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably looking at it like, oh yeah, this will take 2 hours. You just roll some dice,
Role
boom,
play.
done. All right. Well, we're sitting here like
That's what we're doing.
fucking
Anyways, let's ration up.
yeah,
So
like
who's eating,
doing
who's
shit,
not?
right?
All right, so what we're getting is us three and Pavel and Silas are eating. Everyone else is not.
Are the sick eating this?
And
this
the
round?
sick. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So what we've got on top of that, then we've got Alicia,
Yep, so we got-
Nikolai, and Thomas. So it looks like there'll be 8 people.
So
eating.
8 people are eating.
Yeah.
When you go to give Thomas his rations, he insists that you give it to his daughter.
Malcolm respects that, and yeah.
That's fine.
Does that increase the chance of him getting sicker?
It may.
He's not
Maybe
hunting,
it won't.
so
You
America's
can force
fine
him
with
to
it.
eat, but he'll definitely resent you for that.
Well, I won't force him. I'll try to have a conversation. Thomas, you must keep your energy up. Amelia, your daughter got better because she ate and rested, not just because she laid there. You must rest and you must eat, or you will not get better.
Give me a high or low.
Hi.
I've got enough fat to last me a winter. My daughter, she's a growing girl.
I just sigh. Thomas, it is an admirable quality to love your daughter so much, but you cannot help her if you pass. I will be back soon, and I will check on you. You must eat. And then I'll leave it at that. Yeah,
Yeah, you know, Merrick isn't
Sure
gonna
you don't
fucking
eat?
feed her.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Alright, so mark your boxes.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
So I think everybody in my tent is going without.
Who? Yep, alright, mark mine. Fucking my boy,
Morgan.
ginger
Silas?
guy whose name I forgot. He's the only fucking one too. Well, no, I forgot the others too now. Fuck is his name? Where'd he go? Morgan. Yeah, that's fucking hell.
Yeah, so how many
Cool.
is that I'm taking out?
All right, we good?
8.
Let's see.
Should be 3 of us
Is
plus
it?
5, right? 3 sick and 2 gathers.
Yeah, so that comes out to 8.
Oh yeah.
And then you're giving the fuel equally,
Cool.
no one's gonna risk a death.
Yeah, we have enough fuel that every house should.
Okay. Let me see. We got occurrences, and then we got
Sweet.
illness. And we'll call it there.
Very good. All right. All right, cutting recording.